Hey guys, this is Ash here from the Network Studios. Welcome back to another stream inside of the city. Just going inside the city now. So, not sure what we'll do today. No clue. My mic is unmuted this time. Apologise about that in yesterday's stream. Not having any, you know what you call it. Yeah, I apologise about my mic being muted yesterday. I can't remember why I muted it now. I think it was because I was helping something, my mum with something, and I muted my mic to watch a video, and then I didn't realise that I hadn't unmuted it, and then I started the stream, and Jesus Christ, like. Thanks for 100 subs. Yo, bro, yo, Steve. I'm on 100 subs now, Steve. And oh my days, you just missed what Jamie did. You missed what Jamie did. Jamie absolutely had me in stitches. Oh my days, what Jamie did. Oh my days, guys. Jamie just had me in stitches today, guys. I tell you now. Like, honestly, Steve, comment if you want to know what it is. And also comment if you're coming online. Alright, so basically, you know how I did that gas company thing with Noreen the other day? Well, he got a Chinese takeaway number off of Ryan. And he just walked out. And I've just walked out of work, bro, so prob's not. Oh, okay, yeah, so anyway, you know I did that Noreen thing the other day to the gas company? Well, he rung up a Chinese takeaway near Ryan's house. He rang them up as Wongi Woo, and basically he started going on like where's Chinese? Is this Chinese? In like a Wongi Woo voice, like where's noodles and all of that Chinese, and then she was like, no, English, and then Jamie in the Wongi Woo voice was like, no, Chinese. So then she starts speaking actual Chinese to him, and then he actually comes across that he started to fail as Wongi Woo. So what he did is he ordered some chicken balls, he ordered something else which I can't remember, and then he ordered chips. And then he basically said that he was going to be there in 5 minutes to pick it up, and you know, that she was to get ready and cook it, and obviously he's not going to go, so he's rang a Chinese takeaway somewhere near where Ryan lives and ordered some food what he's not even going to come and get. So, oh mate, it had me in stitches though. Literally. And then I did another one to the gas company as well, on an Instagram live stream. It was funny, but you know. But yeah, we've also had another Lost on an Island recorded today. I've also recorded a thanks for 100 subscribers, which was basically just I told YouTube my biggest fear, which is bees and wasps. And then I also went ahead and recorded another video about the next clubbing year event. So I've been pretty busy today actually, and like I say, the Lost on an Island, jeez, did that not go down good. There was only one mistake we made, and literally I wanted to put Peaceful off so I could actually eat, and I'd started recording. and then I had to cut it because I realised I didn't do it. But then after that, the series went down a treat. We got the episode done, like I did like the first half, and I said like to Jabbo before we start, because Jabbo's in it, I said I'm going to try and record up to about 15 minutes each part. And the first half, when I'd stopped the video, checked the time, it was 15 minutes and 43 seconds. And then when I did the second part, it was like 11 minutes and so many seconds. So it made a kind of decent sized video, but the first time I was only just over by 43 seconds to what I said I was going to try and record for. So I actually thought that was pretty decent, to say that I actually tried to time it, which was pretty decent. So yeah, guys, you can expect things coming on the channel. Like that series, I'm getting into it now. Now we've done episode 2, I'm actually getting into it. I'm going to come up with some plans, but I'm actually getting into this series, and I enjoy doing it this way rather than me just being a cameraman. I think me being a cameraman would makes it a bit boring when I am the cameraman for Park Drive, and I reckon that this series could go off to a pretty decent start if we actually get this right. Episode 2 is in the middle of uploading now. I wanted to make sure that I got it up and I don't forget to upload it. Then like I say, there's another video about the next clubbing event to go up, but I don't know if I'll be uploading that today or not, because I've already like uploaded I've already like gonna be uploading these 2 videos, which is pretty decent. And then like I say, I did an Instagram live stream as well, but it's not going down that bad. We actually are starting to get things done, and it's starting to pick up as the channel, I think, again, because I don't want to just do Park Drives and live stream all the time. Now I know that technically means doing a video like every single day, but I enjoy it when I do have a video to do every single day. Like Steve might get what I mean here, but it kind of keeps me going. Because to be honest with you, like live streaming's good, but sometimes I don't know what to do in the live streams. Sometimes I just end up cutting it after 20 minutes, and to be honest, like if I'm doing videos, it passes the night away for me, and I enjoy it. It keeps me going, and it like gives me something to do, and it keeps me like active. And then I kind of think like, right, no messing about, I've got to start this series now, and like, oh, we need to do this tonight, it's Lost on an Island tonight, or it's Park Drive today, or I need to get this video out today. I like it, rather than just sat there bored thinking, what can I do? And not being bothered to put anything up. Like now we're doing more videos, which you guys have got to admit, there's been more videos on the channel lately than there has been live streams. I'd say there easily has been for about 2 weeks now, more videos than just live streams. Whereas before it was like just loads of live streams and then the odd Park Drive, which, don't get me wrong, live streams and Park Drives are good. Park Drive's sick, but I want to do other things as well. So that's what I'm kind of in the middle of doing, is basically doing Park Drives and other things as well, which is pretty decent. So, but yeah, I mean, what time do you start work anyway, Steve? If you're still in the stream, isn't it like 12? Like I was gonna say, I know if I was just coming home now, I'd be pretty tired. I wouldn't really want to come online if I was that honest with you. But it just depends how I feel, really. Like if I was just coming home now, I probably wouldn't want to come online. But there again, if it was a weekend, then I probably would. Like if it was Friday and I was just coming home now, then I probably would. But if I was leaving work on a Friday, I wouldn't like to work on a Friday night. Let's put it that way, because Friday is a day where there's a lot of clubbing dues for me, Like it usually, typically, if there's a clubbing day, it's on a Friday, not a Saturday. So if I was to come home at like 9:30, most clubbing do start at like 9. And even if I was to come home at like 9:30, and most clubbing do start at 10, I'd probably be a bit tired. I'd probably want something to eat to chill out before I go and start drinking and raving. So it probably wouldn't be the best idea for me. I did used to work nights though, guys, but it wasn't on a Friday, thankfully. I only ever did Monday till Thursday when I got a phone call in. So I don't know if you guys know, but I used to work on what was called the agency. So basically, you'd have like factories. What do different things, like say for example like birdseed or dog biscuits, or for example sweets or something like that, and they'd have the main workers there. But then if the factory was coming into a busy schedule, say for example it had a lot of stuff to do, like on the nights or something like that, they'd get the boss to then, they'd get like an agency company, which is obviously what you call agency. They'd get them to phone people in who were down on the agency, and then they would come in and do a shift at that factory while it was going through a busy period. So you could be working at this factory, you could be working at this factory like every week for months on end. But then you could have a period where the factory was dead, and you might get called in to do something else for a few days at a different factory. Or you might go through like a time period where there's nothing at all, and you don't get a single phone call for weeks. And it can be really annoying. Now, when I say really annoying, I mean really annoying, because if you're trying to provide for bills or something like that, or you're trying to you need wages for whatever reason, it's kind of annoying, because if you don't get called in, you don't get paid. And the thing with the agency work is it's a week in hand. So say for example, you started work. Say for example you started work on the Monday, you wouldn't get paid on the Friday, you'd get paid on the following Friday. So for example, next week you were getting the previous week's wages. So say for example if I started working there this week, I'd get my wages for this week next week, and then next week's wages I'd get that the week after. So like every week you were getting the previous week's wages, if that kind of makes sense. So you were still kind of in a way technically getting paid every week. If once you got going, like you would kind of you'd do a week, and then and then you won't get paid till the following week, and then you do a week again, and then you won't get paid till the following week or something like that. So basically you were getting paid every other week, you were missing a week, in other words. And like I say, that weren't too bad, because when you got paid it was a decent amount for me. So when I did get paid, it was enough for me to last a week. I didn't have to worry about not lasting the week. I could last like that week or whatever, or that sort of 2 weeks if you like, without actually going ahead and doing anything. I could still have quite a decent amount of money. But the thing was the phone calls. Like sometimes I'd get phoned in every day for about 2 weeks, and then there'd be a schedule where I don't get phoned in again for a while. So then you kind of get out of that routine of you're not expecting him ringing, and you maybe plan to do something, and then he rings again. And then because he rings and you need the job and the cash, you kind of stop what your other plans were, because you think, well, you need the cash, don't you? Which was really annoying. And the thing what really peed me off about it is we were going on holiday last year in April time, and it was around the period of me getting called in, and I didn't get called in for a bit, and it was really close to us going on holiday. I'm talking we were kind of sort of roughly round about the week of going on holiday. We were going on the Friday. I was at work something like the Tuesday or something like that. and I don't think I did anything else for the week. But the thing is I had to take a phone with me, and I had to, because we weren't coming back till Monday, and I had to be so aware on the phone. I had to ring him up to let him know that I'd come on holiday, and if you try ringing me, and then for example, like if he rang and he wanted me in, we'd have to cancel our holiday early, we'd have to come back earlier than we did. So, because we were going to kind of have a look round Inglemells in Skegness for the morning, which was all fine and dandy and that, but we said that if he rang up and he wanted me in, we'd set off earlier so I could get back in time to make the night shift on the night. And and then like we had to ring him, and I spent all holiday worrying, like, and it kind of ruined the holiday. And then he didn't even ring me in, and then there was something that he maybe did on the Tuesday, and it turned into a right mess. And then he didn't ring again for ages, and we thought, oh well, this is this is stupid now, guys. This is absolutely insane. He's not gonna ring, and he didn't ring, and he's not rung since. He's not rung. He never rang to say we don't need you anymore. He never rang to say you're not on the books anymore. He never rang to say he needed me. He just stopped ringing. Like, what did he expect I did? Just stopped working, found a new job? How did he expect I got me cash? How did he expect I managed in the weeks? So we kind of left it a bit, and we were looking through the papers, and there was a job advertised where you go around putting up marquee tents, marquina tents, when they have like big festivals like caravan shows or like Land Rover shows, or like big, like art craft shows, or people's weddings, and they hire a marquina, they hire a marquee tent. There was a job going for a marquee place what lives in Drift. What works in Drift, should I say. And as soon as we saw the advertisement, we went in. We rang them up first, and they were like, oh yeah, fine, come in, have an interview, that type of thing. So I thought, well, you know what, this is pretty sick. This could be something. This could be something pretty good, So we go in, we have an interview, they give us a form, and she sounded pretty certain that I would, more than likely get this job. And she said I'd go on a trialing day, basically, when I came back in. Well, I came back in with a form originally, and then I had to come back in another day to have like a little look round of the place. And then I was in the next day, which was basically like what was called my trialing day. And she said I'd be trialing this, that week, and then the week after. And then if it all went well, I'd have the job on the Friday. Or I'd have the job, they'd say whether I've got the job or not. So basically, I go in, I do this trialing day. It all goes pretty sound. We didn't do too much, if I'm honest with you. It was my first day. We went to a sports centre in a town near me, and we had to take a load of tables and chairs because they were having like some do or something, like I can't remember what it was for. So we went out pretty early, which was pretty good. You had to start at like 7 in the morning, and that was us like setting off to go, not loading up the truck or something like that. And we went off and we did this, and then I went back and to the place, and then they were kind of showing me how to put these tents up and stuff like that. Which went down pretty well, and then after that they said, right, you won't be in anymore this week, but it was Thursday anyway, so there was only Friday, and they said they wanted me in on the Monday, this other person in on the Tuesday. So I went in on the Monday, all fine, and I was up ready, I was excited, I thought, this is actually going to happen now. It sounds like they're more keen, they want me back again to trial for another day. So I go in and trial for another day, and it goes pretty well. We go to a farm, and we put a tent up for like this like event thing what was happening. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't like a party event or anything like that. It was more like an event with food and drink where like a woman was going to talk about something. It all went well, and they were kind of bigging me up as well. They were kind of saying like, you know, you're actually learning how to put this tent up pretty quick, and you know, they were making me feel like as if I was doing really well, and I thought I was doing really well. And when they got back, they told the boss there that they were really pleased with me. I'd done really well. I picked up putting the tent up really quick, and then at the end, you know, I said, well, you know, when am I going to be in next? And they said they'd ring me, and they never rang me. Never rang. And it was ages. It must have been about 4 to 6 weeks. So I rang them back and I said, look, you know, when do you need me again? You said you were going to ring. And they said, you know, you are on our books if we need you for moving tables and chairs. And I was kind of thinking, like, what? Like, I literally said in the interview that I had a job before which was on agency and I needed more regular work. So all I literally got was a look round the place, 2 trialing days. They said I was doing well, and they never rang me back. And I never heard anything from the other bloke. And they never said anything about returning the uniform. So I now have like a t-shirt, a jumper, a pair of trousers, a pair of boots from them. What they never even asked back. Never asked for it back, and I don't have a clue what happened. I don't have a clue why they never wanted me back when they said I was doing so well. So don't ask me. But before any of them 2 jobs, I did have another job before that as well. Well, it was one of these other jobs what never started. So there was another job going which my dad's girlfriend tagged me in on Facebook, because again I was looking for jobs when this agency thing didn't go down. I think it was maybe before the agency. I think it could have, yeah. I think it could have been just before I actually started on the agency stuff. I can't remember if I'm completely on it. I think it was before I first started on the agency. Bearing in mind when I first started on the agency, I was not 18, so I couldn't do it apparently. I did like 1 week of it, but because I wasn't 18, they had to then stop me. But before then, I went for another job interview type thing at a pet store. You know, like, well, it was kind of like a country store / pet store, so you could get things like Christmas trees at Christmas. You could get things like coal and wood for your fire. But then you could get like your really big bags of dog biscuits and your really big bags of bird seed, and you could get like tubes of bird seed, and you could get like dog beds and cat beds. You know, it was basically like your country / pet store. And anyway, again, I think I rang him up, and he said, would you be available to come in for an interview? So I thought, well, this sounds pretty desperate. So I go on my bike with my dad, because it's just out of town, is this? It's just near a little village called Bransburton. So I go on my bike, and I have a little interview, and he says, right, come in tomorrow, you'll be trialling. So I go in tomorrow, which is, you know, obviously the next day. I go on my bike. I get there early. I get there like 10 minutes early, which is really good. He's that traditional styled boss, you know, the one who kind of like, right, can you make a good cup of tea kind of style thing. So I did. Showed me a few things around the store. To be honest, I didn't think I did too bad. Like, I picked up where the dog biscuits were quite easily. I'll admit I'm not a strongest person, so some of the stuff I had to carry was, you know, quite heavy for me in terms of like dog biscuits and stuff. But I did my best to help things to customers' cars. I served a few customers. I didn't do as such what you would call as such the till stuff, but I did do a lot of like, you know, like actually going and getting the customers the things, and then I answered the phone once as well. I wasn't asked to do it, but I thought it would maybe appreciate it if I did, and I passed it on to him and that stuff. So the day went, and I actually got paid for the day. It was actually a decent amount of cash, and he said, right, you'll be trialling in again next Saturday morning, but it won't be me who's in, it'll be a different person who's in. So I thought, oh yeah, great, gives me a chance to get to know another member of staff who comes in. Bearing in mind this job was only meant to be a weekend job, slash they might want me in the week if they got like a big delivery and they just needed a hand with it. Then I'd go in and, you know, deliver. I'd go in and, you know, lend them the hand and do the delivery with them, like on a Tuesday or something. And anyway, he said come in next Saturday, so I'm excited all week, you know. I'm thinking, oh wait, I can't wait for the weekend to go to work again, you know, because I enjoy working in shops. So I go there on my bike, and on the Saturday, and he's there. And I was thinking, wait, you're not supposed to be here on a Saturday. And he says, oh, sorry, we don't need you today. We've got somebody else trialling. And that's not bearing in mind that I'd, you know, travelled all the way. So he gives me a $5 for coming on my bike to cover the fuel, which is hardly nothing. So I go back home, and I'm like, oh, he didn't want me in today. He said there's someone else trialling. So my stepmom, you know, I wouldn't say I had a go at him, but, you know, I asked him what was going on, like. And then he started twisting the knife and saying that I made it up and I got it all wrong and I weren't supposed to be in. And, you know, he basically made up a bunch of lies to try and save his own skin. When, in other words, what I think he was doing was using people. So what I think he was doing is advertising his job, trialling one person, getting rid of them, and then trialling another person. Now, I never heard anything more about it because I had nothing to do with it ever since. But that's as far as it got, really, with that one. But yeah, then the Marquina place never rang back. So, but now I'm doing what I do every single day, which is pretty sound as a round pound. But going back to the whole moral of the story, if I was just coming in from work at 9:30, I wouldn't fancy coming online. I'd be probably quite tired. So it's funny how, like, just Steve mentioning he wasn't coming on from leaving work caused into that whole conversation about my history of jobs. But you know, that's what went down in Chinatown. So how much of this have we got left to fill in? We've got loads of it to fill in. Tons of it. But as you know, guys, I just want to say again, thanks for 100 subscribers before I do leave the stream. And I just want you to know that me on YouTube is not going anywhere. I class it as my second job. Like, I class it as something that I have to do because it motivates me to make the music. It motivates me to make the videos because I think, well, you know, you guys have subbed to my channel, so you have to see what I put on there. Like, you have to see the content. So when people say, like, you know, I don't need to be doing this all the time, I always, you know, kind of think of it as I do. Because, like, once you've subbed to my channel, you expect to see videos. And if I don't post the videos, then you're just going to unsub. And it's obviously, you know, it's kind of like watching TV, isn't it? Like, you know, they can't say, for example, like, oh, you've done the ITV news too much lately. Let's not do it. No, you know, it's time. You know, you don't need to do it all the time. But obviously, like, if people, you know, if the ITV news just came willy-nilly, like, oh, they did it some days and then other days they didn't, people would kind of, you know, not watch it because they think, well, you know, why am I going to watch that? What only comes on every so often? You know, I want to see it every day and get the news. Where it's the same with, like, Park Drive. Like, you want to say, I want to see when it next comes and watch the next episode. So, you know, motivates me to do the videos. So I have to do the videos. some people might find it a wee tidgy bit annoying, but streaming every night, making videos, it is my second job, and no matter what goes down, unless I tell you guys like I'm not going to be able to post for a week because of a holiday or something really important's coming up, then I have to do it every day. So no matter what happens in the day, whether it's late, whether it's early, I have to find some time in that day to at least stream or put a video up. That's just kind of the way it goes. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Well, this live stream. I want to thank you all for watching. Really helps me out. Smash the like button if you did enjoy the video, and also sub to the channel so you don't miss uploads from me. Click the little bell, which means you'll get notified on your phones, laptops, when I upload a video or when I start live streaming. And we shall see you all in the next live stream. Toodaloo.